Hello everyone. Today we are going to look into query set and lookups. Okay, so we are going to start from the beginning in this video. So let's begin. In this video we'll look into query set. Okay, let's begin. First of all, we need to make one project. For that, do new and make a folder, and in this folder I'll say just lookups. Okay, and I will do some more options and open it with Visual Code. Okay, so first of all we need to install the virtual environment. Okay, so to set up the virtual environment, what we need to do is Python -m my env. Okay, so hit enter and this will make one folder. It will take up to 10 seconds for this setup. Okay, so be patient. Okay, after this what we want to do is we want to activate that virtual environment. Okay, so in order to do that, what you need to do is write the name of the virtual environment slash and scripts slash and activate. Okay, so after that activation you'll get like this, right? My env at the left of this command of this command prompt. Okay, PowerShell. Okay, so after doing this we want to make our own project. So let me do that. Django admin start project. I'll give the name of the project as project itself. Okay, so let me write the project as project itself. So I need to go to that project, do ls. If I see manage.py, then I can write that Python command. Okay, so Python manage.py start app, and the name of the app will be app. Okay, so there is an import error because we have not installed Django in our this virtual environment. Okay, so we need to install the Django also. So in order to install the Django, do pip install Django. Okay, for doing this you must have this thing activated. Okay, so this thing will be Django will be installed in your virtual environment only if this is activated. Okay, so be careful, and I will hit enter, pip install Django. Okay, so it is being installing over here. So it will take some minutes. Okay, I think that's done. So in order to check the version whether it's installed or not, admin dash version. Okay, let me do now Django admin start a project. I want to give the name as a project. Okay, I guess there's some error over here. What is that error? I don't know. Okay, again I'll cross this one, open my terminal, I'll cross this one. Let's say pip list in order to say whether the Django is being successfully installed or not. Go over here. Is here something known as Django? Yep, it's already installed, but I need to activate that. I will activate that virtual environment. In order to do that, I need to give the name of the virtual environment, write scripts, and then do activate. Okay, so now it's activated. Django dash admin dash person. So the Django is perfectly installed in my virtual environment. So now in order to make the project, what I need to do is Django dash admin start a project. I'll give the name of the project as project itself. Start project. Okay, so start project. Okay, so it has started. So I need to go inside that project, do ls. I'll see the manage.py, so I can write the Python command, python manage.py start app, and I'll give the name of the app as app only. Okay, so after doing this, it will create me this app and project. So after that, I need to go to the settings.py, make some changes over here. We'll create our own external app and extend this installed app. Okay, so in order to do that, external slash apps, and my app name is app. Okay, so this is my app name. Okay, so now in order to extend this installed app, what I need to do is install apps dot extend. We want to extend this external apps. Okay, so this what we need to do. We also go down over here, down this static, and make some changes. Okay, so we have to write media root is equal to base dir slash media. Okay, slash media, and over here media url is equal to media. Okay, so whenever the Django administration adds any file or folder, then it will go directly inside this media. Okay, so it will be created in this project directory level. Okay, so in this level. Okay, so it is app project and it also the media. Okay, so if Django administration adds any files or folder, then it will come over there. I'll not show that in this video, but it is good that you will do this setting. Okay, so the next thing is I will go to this urls and I'll make some changes over here. So for this, what I need to do is from django.com import, I'll do settings, and from django.com dot urls dot static import static. Okay, so you need to go inside this static, and over here at this 19, you at the line number 19, you need to copy that piece of code, copy it and paste it after this closing bracket. Okay, so after doing these things, what we will do is just do migrate. Okay, so python manage.py migrate. Okay, this is okay. Now we'll just create a super user. Okay, manage.py create a super user. I'll give my own name. I'll give the email as this. I'll make my own password. Okay, I'll click on S. Okay, this has been successfully created. Now I'll run the server. Python manage.py run server. Okay, after running this server, I'll go to over here. Why it is saying Python because we have not provided any landing page. Okay, so that's why it is giving me this, but we don't want to do anything over here. We'll just go to the admin site and write your username and your password, which you have just given in your that command. Okay, create super user. Over here, what I want to do is now create a table. Okay, so in order to create the table, what I will do is just create one table. In order to create the table, we'll use the models.py. So in models.py, I'll write class. Let's say I want to create the student table. The student have their own name, so I'll do models.character field. The max length will be 50. I'll go to the age models dot, let's say this is only integer field. Okay, so integer field, and the next thing will be address. Okay, so the address, I'll give it as a text field. Okay, so text field will not provide the maximum length in this case. Okay, so age, address, and I'll give it as a email address also. Okay, so email field, I'll not provide anything over here. The email should be unique, so I'll write unique is equal to true, and over here I'll write the age, address, and this much only. Okay, so this is 5 thing. Okay, this much is okay for now. Now what I'll do is, in order to mix create the table in our database, we need to do two steps. First step is manage.py, make migrations. Okay, after doing this, what you need to do, manage.py, migrate. Okay, so now you will see in db SQLite, you will see the same. So id, name, age, and address. Okay, so you'll see over there, but we cannot see in Django administration. Okay, so you cannot see anything over here. So in order to see, what's present in my database in that Django administration, you need to go to admin.py and write the decorator admin.model admin. Okay, so you need to do admin.register, and you need to provide the name of that model, that's student. So that's student, so it will not recognize that student. In order to provide the familiarity, you need to do from models import what I want to import, that's student. Okay, so I imported the student over here. So the next thing, so wait for a minute. Okay, I'll come back after a minute. Okay, let's begin where we have left off. So I was making the now I'll make the class as let's say I want to show it in students, so will I want to show it in Django administration page, so I'll write as student admin and I'll give the name as admin dot model admin. Okay, so inside this I'll give the list display. uh, in the list display I'll provide the list of the attributes that I want to show in the Django administration. Okay, so the ID will be automatically created by the Django at first. The second one will be the name. Third is address. Okay, the third will be is fourth will be address. Okay, so here it will not be semicolon. Over here models that would provide email is equal to this thing. Okay, okay, after doing this thing we will see this in our so let's make go that python manage.py run server. After doing this we'll go open the admin app students, so it is not showing me. There's some error or what? Operational error at admin student app is today. There is some error. What is that error? No such email. Okay, so what I need to do is again do migrate. Okay, so python manage.py make migrations. Okay, I'll again do migrations. Email @gmail.com. Okay. So I provided it python manage.py make a migrations. Okay, no change detected. Python manage.py migrate. Okay, now I think it should run python manage.py run server. After doing this thing I'll just go over here, click on the student. Okay, now I can add the students. Okay, so I'll add up to 5 to 6 students. Okay, so I'll request add David. Address is let's say California. Okay, save and add other. Let's say Susan. Let's say age is 15 and he's living in Kathmandu. Email is sujan@gmail.com. I'll do save and add another. So let's add other name as Sonam. The age will be let's say 24. Address will be let's say Chitwan. Okay, and my email address will be so @gmail.com. Okay, so I'll do save and add another. The next name will be Madan. The age of will be let's say 45. Address will be let's say Georgia. Okay, so Georgia. Email will be madan@gmail.com. Okay, so I'll add still few. Next one I'll add of my own. Let's say age is 34. Let's say the address is Arkansas. Email will be mohan@gmail.com. Okay, I think this much will be okay for now. How many I have added? So I have added 5. Let me make one more. Okay, so let me say the another one is Bob. Age of Bob is 54 and his address is also California. Okay, and email is bob@gmail.com. Okay, so this is the case. So I'll just save. Okay, so the two persons are from California, and let me make the two person of same name. Okay, so in order to do that, let's say there is another person named Mohan, so his age is let's say 32 and address will be, his address is let's say Baltimore. Okay, and email will be mohan@gmail.com. Okay, so I do this save. Okay, so in order to bring all this data in our in our database, what we need to do is do a couple of things in views.py. Okay, so in order to make sure that all this data are being created in my database, I need to just go to my SQLite viewer and see over here. Okay, so it's being successfully created in my database. Okay, so in order to bring that data into my database, what I need to do is, let's say I make one function which will take a request. Okay, so in order to bring all that data from the student, what I need to do is student dot objects dot all. Okay, this is also known as query set. It will provide me all the students that are present in my database. Okay, so it is not recognizing over here. In order to make it recognized, what I need to do is dot models import student. Okay, so now it will work. Now if I do if I just let me return something. Okay, so let me do return render a request. I'll go to the home.html and I'll show this data in the form of table. Okay, so I'll also make the table. Okay, so data and data. Okay, so after this I'll go inside my app and make a folder name as templates. I'll make another folder inside the templates. I'll give the name as app. Now I'll make one file name as home.html. Okay, so after doing this, I'll do shift 1 and bring this boilerplate. Shift and 1, I'll bring all this boilerplate, and inside this one I'll make one container, and I'll make the row, and I'll make take the 10 column space. Okay, so after that I'll go to the bootstrap. So let's go to bootstrap and bring in table. Okay, so we need to bring table. So let me go to the table. I'll bring this first table from here. I'll just do copy and paste. Okay, so in order to show this table, what I need to do is just in my views there is the thing, so I'll go to the urls.py over here. What I need to do is import path and I'll do include. Okay, so at below this I'll give the path as over here nothing, and from here I'll do include what is the app name? app.urls. Okay, so I need to make a urls.py in my app. So let me add that urls.py. So over here, what I need to do is django.urls import path. Okay, so URL patterns. So over here, I'll give path. I'll not write anything, and let me import that views. Okay, from the dot views input, there is something known as home. So SOME home, I'll give the name as also home. Okay, now it should work over here. Let me, first of all, I need to go to Bootstrap again. Okay, so go to docs, go to downloads, and download this CDN via JS deliver. Okay, so this 2 line of code needs to be pasted in your home.html below that title. Okay, so you need to paste it over here. Now it will work. Okay, let me go over here, control C, run your server. So python manage.py, run server. So after doing this thing, I will just, so it is saying templates does not exist at this thing. Okay, home.html, and it is correct, right? So what I need to do is go to views.py, and it is present at app/home.html. Okay, so if I again now do this, so it is showing me that table. Now we need to change this heading of this table. Okay, this first, last, and head, and this data inner. To do that, what I need to do is go to my data, this thing, and over here what I need to do is in the first one I will provide the ID. In the second, there is something known as name, age, address, and email. Okay, name and age, let's say full name, age, and address. Okay, I guess this much. Over here, no, there is an additional one, that's control C and control B. So address and email. Okay, so email, I'll cut this one, so I'll cut it. So now it will show me full name, age, address, and email. Okay, so after that, in table row, what we need to do is we don't want this data and this data also. So in this data, what I want to do is in the table row, what I want to do is start the for loop for data in I am passing the from views.py. I'm passing the let me pass the context. Okay, so over here what I am context, and I'll give this as also context. Okay, so all the things that are present over here will be present in context, and it will go in this data. Okay, so just I will do control X and do control V. So at the first there is a ID, so what I need to do is data.id, and the next thing is data.name, next thing is data.age, next thing is data.address address, and the last thing is the email. Okay, so that's too easy. Control B, so I need to control X over here, control X. I'll write email. Okay, so now this should show me my data. Okay, so it is showing me all the data that is present in my database. Okay, so in order to decorate this table, what you can just do is again search the table, and in order to make these stripped rows, what you need to do is in this table tag you need to copy this table stripped and go to a code. Over here there is a table, and in this I will keep table stripped. Okay, so now if I again do the refresh, I'll see the difference. Okay, so it is looking more nicer. Okay, now what I want to do is do filtering on those data. Okay, so over here this is a query set of data. Okay, so I don't want to print all the data. Okay, so now I will start doing the filtering. Okay, so let's say context is equal to student dot objects dot, I want to do it filter. Okay, filter by address address, and the address is going to be uh, let's say Kathmandu. Okay, after doing this thing, now over here what I need to see is there is only one person of Kathmandu. Okay, so I should see that only. Okay, so it is filtering the data. So after doing this, and if I want to append, so I want the person of address Kathmandu, and I want the age of. Okay, so if I want to append add more command, I will give the age of 15. Okay, so there is I don't think there is anyone that's age 15. There is, so it will show me this only. But if I provide age 16, so there is no data of address of Kathmandu and age of 14. Okay, so if I do now, it will not show anything. Okay, so this is the first. Now I want to show you context. Let me write the context equal to student objects dot, let's say I want the table which exclude. Okay, dot exclude. Okay, exclude the address other than Kathmandu. Okay, so it will show all the data excluding that Kathmandu one. Okay, so it is not showing that Kathmandu, and it's showing all the rest of the data. Okay, so that's one thing. Now the next one is, let's say student dot objects, and I want to order by and I want to order it by name. Okay, so if I do this name, then it will come in alphabetical order. Okay, so it will give more priority to this uppercase letter. So first of all it will come uppercase, and then it will arrange by the alphabetical order. Okay, so this is the thing. Now in the next one I want to order by age. Okay, so how I can do that? Context equal to student dot objects dot order by, I'll provide is over here, then it will come by ordering by age. Okay, so it is going from the smallest one to the biggest one. Okay, so 15 to 54. In order to bring that 54 to the top, what I'll do is just write minus sign at front of this age. Okay, so it will now move up. Okay, so it will give me that 54. Okay, now after this what I want to see is, let's say context equal to student dot objects dot order by. I do not want to order by in a particular order, but I want to order it in a random fashion, so I'll give this what. Okay, so now if I do refresh now, the first name it is coming is Madan. Okay, second is also coming Madan, then Bob. Okay, so Sonam and David. Okay, so Mohan, and it is coming in a random fashion. Okay, so that what, so if we do order by and write what, then it will arrange that in a random order. Okay, so now the next one we are going to look is student dot objects dot values. Okay, we only want to show name and age in this, in that table. Okay, so only the name and age will only come, name and age will only come, others data will go. Okay, so there is an error. What is that error? Student dot objects dot it is not requiring value, so with these values. Okay, so now if I do refresh, context is not defined. What do you mean by context is not defined? This is context. Okay, now if I do refresh, then it will only give me name and age only. Okay, so after doing this, we'll move on to the get. Okay, so let's say context equal to student.objects.get, and the get will only take the primary key. Okay, so if I provide in here, primary key is what was the primary key? The primary key was the ID. So if I provide the ID as 1, it will give me ID 1 only. Okay, so I'm doing again some error, so I need to provide a student.objects dot not ID. I need to write pk. Okay, so if I write pk primary key as 1, it is giving me student object is not iterable. Why it is saying, yeah, if I want pk is only 1, then what I can do over here is I'm passing context over here. Okay, so over here and inside this thing, what I need to do is remove this one. Okay, so I'll pass the data over here. So let me write that over the here over data, and I am passing that data over here. Okay, so if I pass the data over here, I need to remove this one. There is only one item, so it cannot give you to loop over that, so it will only do data of ID. So if I now again run this, it will work. Okay, so it is working now. If I provide ID is equal to 1, it is showing me error. Okay, so let me again run this one. Yeah, it is showing me. Okay, so if I do ID equal to 2, id equal to 2, this get will only get to one object in that row only. Okay, so id equal to 2 is this thing. Okay, so if I do id equal to -1, will it do anything? I'm just checking. Okay, so -1, so it will not, it will say it does not exist. Okay, it is good. So id equal to 1, so get will only get me one object in that table. Okay, so that's the thing. So data is equal to student dot objects and dot last. Okay, so the last 11 last data will be given in my here. Let me go to the admin. The last data was this Mohan. Okay, so it should show me Mohan, and in order to see over here, what I need to do is go over here, get over here, and do this is showing me Mohan. Okay, so if I want the latest one, so data is equal to student dot objects dot latest by age. Then if I do that thing, okay, I am getting the age of Bob. Okay, so this is what I am getting, latest by age. There is also known as earliest. So student dot objects dot control X, let's say data is equal to student dot objects dot earliest, and then age. Okay, so according to this, now if I do search, then it will show me after Susan one. Okay, that was the earliest one. So after all doing all these things, what I want to do is now there is something known as create. Okay, so you can also create the object from here. So student dot objects dot create, and we can provide the name of the students as let's say Jacqueline, and age as 24 34. Let's say it address as Delhi. Okay, so I'll leave it as Delhi, and email as Mohan @gmail, Jacqueline @gmail, Jacqueline @gmail.com. Okay, so after providing this all these thing, I will control C. I'll just put it over here, control V, query set. I'm getting all the data. Now I'm just passing data over here, so I need to again make the for loop. For that I will do control Z, control Z, control Z, control Z, control Z, control Z. Okay, so I am passing over here data, so data in data. And now I'll just run the code. Okay, data. Okay, I'll give it as a context and pass it in data. Okay, now if I now do over here, so it is making me that Jacqueline. Okay, so it is creating me that Jacqueline David. Okay, so you can create by like this. Now if we want to update anything in over here, what we need to do is student dot objects dot filter. I'll give the ID of this Jacqueline. What was the ID? I need to go to this thing. The ID was 8. Okay, so I'll give the ID as 8. ID as 8. Okay, I'll provide the ID as 8, and I'll just update and write name as what I'll provide name as, let's say Amit. Okay, so let me provide that thing, and if I now again do refresh, now this Jacqueline name should be changed. Okay, so look at it. Now we can also do the update part of that. Okay, so after seeing all these things, now what we will do is go into the lookups. Okay, so this is more important one, lookups. Okay, for the lookup, what you need to do is write the context and do student dot objects dot filter. I want the name. That's for the lookup you need to give double underscore. Okay, that's double underscore, and I want to say, let's say I is equal to, I want everything that starts with, let's say M. Okay, so let me provide M, then let's see what this gives. Okay, so let me go over here. If I this is giving me error. why it is providing me error. There's nothing called I. Okay, so I need to go to I exact. Okay, so it will look exactly in that name. Okay, if the M is present, then it will give me that M, but there is nothing. So I'll give, if anything matches with this Mohan exactly, then only it will give me that record. Okay, so if I do this, there is two records of Mohan, so it is giving me the that record. Okay, and in the next one, what I will do is student dot objects dot filter. Now I'll provide underscore underscore, and if I do contains, okay, contains and equal to, let's say, M. Okay, so it will give me the those names which contain this M. Okay, so let me go and show you. Okay, so anything that contains M will be shown over here. Okay, so Sonam contains over here M, Modern contains over here M, Mohan contains at front M. So anything that contains M will be shown. Okay, so but I don't want to show this that contains N, but I want to show something that ends with En. Okay, so objects data filter name just as ends with, and I want to show something that ends with an. Okay, so if I now again do this thing, so Susan ends with an, Madan ends with man, Mohan ends with an. Okay, so this thing, now there is something known as starts with also. Okay, so context equal to student dot objects dot filter name underscore underscore, it starts with I want to something that starts with M, then it will give me all the things that starts with M. Okay, so I think this is quite intuitive, so I'll not explain this one. So let me go to make now a new thing, that's student dot objects dot filter, and I want to take the record or look into the record which is greater than, let's say, 20. Okay, so I want all the records that is greater than 20. Okay, so if I do now, GT and I'm equaling it to this thing, so it is providing me the error. So there is an objects then greater than 20. Okay, so I am looking into the data and where the age is greater than 20, so these all the peoples have the age greater than 20. Okay, so now in order to look greater than or equal to, what I need to do is context student dot objects dot filter the is equal to, let's say, let me look into that thing, let's say is greater than or equal to 24. Okay, so let's say is then greater, for greater than or equal to, you need greater than and e. Okay, so equal to 24, then it will give me the is including that 24 also. Okay, so it will also provide me that sonum ones. Okay, so this will be also be included, so this will also be included. Okay, that's the thing. For less than or equal to look into the age whose age is below 20, what you need to do is context equal to, I need to comment this one, so let me comment this one, let me comment this one, context equal to student dot objects dot filter is less than, let's say, 20. Okay, so is there anyone that's less than 20? I guess yes. So there is a less than, and similarly there is less than or equal to also. Okay, so student dot objects dot filter is less than or equal to, so let's say 20. Okay, so this will also give the same result in my data over here now. Okay, after doing all this thing, now I want to look into the range also. Okay, so student dot objects dot filter, I want the is, I will provide the uh, range. Okay, so range in between, I want in between 24 to, let's say, 34. Okay, so I want all the people whose age is in between 24 and 34, and it will include this 24 also, 34 also. Okay, so let me run over here. There is an error, there is something, objects student dot objects dot filter age and range is equal to this thing, context is not defined, so I need to write it to context. I'm always writing that as data, I don't know why. Okay, so for this I'm getting the is in between 24 to 34, and both of these endpoints are being included. Okay, so this much for now regarding this lookups table. You can also check the official documentation of the Django. Okay, so Django documentation for lookups. Okay, so you can look it over here also. There are a lot of things that's present. So I'll go to the lookups. Okay, so here is a lookup. So less than, it is saying old count. Okay, you can check like this. Okay, I contains and double underscores slash, you can check all these things. Okay, on your own you can look it in this website. Okay, that's it for now. Now in the next lesson we will continue that CRUD which we have done in previous video. Okay, so have a nice day and goodbye.